Hi guys. Okay, so I started this new hobby of learning guitar and I've mastered it, especially the F chord. Anyway, so that's the A minor. Oops. That sounds better. Anyway, so I just thought I wanted to talk about part-time jobs, as there's lots of you struggling with finding that part-time job, which was also a struggle for me. However, I got one. I got a part-time job and then I also got a full-time finance analyst job. So basically, to find a part-time job, it wasn't super hard. No, it was super hard, only because I didn't know the things that I should have known to make it easier. So basically, okay, that's a alarm going at the background. Anyway, so basically things that I should have known. So like there's so many like websites and stuff you apply and you never hear back from them. They like kabhi interview ka wohi nahi aata hai. And I feel like once I get an interview, it's always a pass. I've never failed an interview. I've gone to 3 interviews and I've passed all of them and I got those 3 jobs. But now I'm like working as a finance analyst, so I don't need like part-time job. However, whichever interview I went to, I've always passed it and got that job. So basically, like getting an interview is the hardest part, which I feel like if you apply to Marks and Spencer on the Marks and Spencer website, then you'll get an assessment that you have to complete. It's fairly simple assessment. The trick is, well, I'll tell you the trick in the next video, so you guys watch the next video too. So it's a bit, I'm being tricky, but anyway, so I'll tell you what the trick is and what happens in the assessment. But basically, it's a simple process. You apply to the Marks and Spencer website, see a local one, whichever is close for you. There's you could have like jobs in the cafe in Marks and Spencer, or in the shopping clothing area, home clothing area, or in the food area. I personally prefer clothing area because I love clothes and I love to dress up, so I did that. However, you know, whatever suits you, and if it doesn't bother you, you can do cafe and anything else. So basically, just apply on that website, do the assessment. You'll get the email after like 5 minutes of applying. And then the next step is the interview, which is like literally, if you pass the assessment, you'll get the interview email in like 5 minutes, and you just have to book it up. And I can tell you all the questions they ask in the interview, or like, well, not exactly all, but what I was asked, or like what are the potential questions they can ask. And yeah, hopefully you guys also find your part-time stable job in the UK. And see you in the next video. And I will definitely talk about what other things, like if anyone's interested, like what other things they do for Marks and Spencer assessment and interview. Okay.